What did you adjust after the first few drives there last week? What did you like? What did you not like early? What did you like later?
Yeah, I mean, obviously some you let the ball get loose a couple times, both in the pass game and the run game, and it's always easier to look back on it once you see it on video and you see a break. Oh, it's just blank, and as we tell the guys, it's never just anything. It's just our careers are on the line every Saturday, players and coaches, and so. I think some of it, as we talk to the guys, is that trust factor. You just see periods of lack of trust. And one of the things I talk to the guys about is that we don't, holistically between each other, obviously that's something you're always working on, player to player, coach to player, all that stuff. But, one of the things we highlighted is just, the trust element in themselves. And in that moment, playing my gap is all I need to do. Defending my man if I got a vertical two, or if I'm responsible for a tight end on the vertical, all I got to do, I don't want to overthink this thing. And so I think a lot of that is just settling in and making sure that we trust some of those things that we do on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I mean, a year ago, we're maybe screaming from the rooftops saying we're not getting it done on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and all those things. And one of the things, kind of as we look at it right now, we got to make sure that we're doing the things on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And those things will show up on Saturdays. And obviously the opponent's going to make it very difficult for you. I mean, they're going to try to mess with your eyes and token play fakes. And that's one of the things that kind of the second level of defense kind of struggle with a little bit. But no, I would highlight the trust element of things. And sometimes too, when your back's against the wall, and you like to do it when your back's not against the wall and just say we're going to show up on a Saturday and do it from the jump. When your back's against the wall, what else you got? It's just trusting each other and trusting yourselves, and I give the guys a lot of credit for doing that.
Coach Riley talked about how early in that game you dialed up some of the perfect play calls and the players just didn't execute. How frustrating was that, and why do you think that happened?
Well, it's little things. It's a 3rd and 2, and you tackle it for 2.5. It's a 3rd and 9, and you tackle it for 9.5. And as we talk to the guys, calls are just 11 coordinated guys doing something. And it's like a motion offense in basketball, the same thing the offense is trying to do in football. And so, in those aspects of things, and some of it is just simply, okay, we got to tackle a little bit lower, we're falling back. And some of that's not just in some of those key situations, say for instance a 3rd down, but it created a 3rd and 4 because on 1st and 10 it turns into a 2nd and 7, which in the stat sheet, we're not tore up about the 3-yard gain, but man, that could have been a 2nd and 12. And so all those things. And so again, I highlight that. We got to make sure in those moments, when you got 11 on the table and you get a chance to double down, man, you got to double down on some of them. And you're not always in that position. Believe me, there's other ones that you want to have back. And so we just got to know when some of those moments occur. You see that out ball on a 3rd and 2, and it's something we worked all week. Oh man, that's one that we're saying it's either a PBU or it's going the other way type of thing, which obviously Jacoby had another one later in the game which was really good to just mention one of them. So, but that's a constant, and again, it's not from lack of effort, which is a good thing, but we got to make sure we get there a click sooner in some of those respects.
Kalen was already coming off an All-American season, but where have you seen him make the most improvement this year?
Yeah, I mean, we asked a lot of him. And then there's no better way to put it. I mean, he doesn't get the opportunity to just do one thing on Saturdays. He's not one of those guys that you're looking, obviously, number one, to get him out of the game. And even if he has to come out of the game, you tell him to go back out, And so he's, been tremendous in terms of when the ball's in the air, and obviously not without exceptions, but like any DB. But no, you just, from a trust standpoint, saying that word too much, but in terms of us with him, you want him everywhere. If you can put him on the boundary half, you want him on the boundary half. You want him in the post, you want him in the run fit, but you really like to put him in man-to-man on the best guy. And so we're trying to do a combination of all those things, and that's something that'll continue. But no, he's a great Trojan. He's a great person. He's everything you want to coach and be a USC Trojan. So he's tremendous.
Lincoln was talking about how you guys kind of had to get creative a little bit this week with the lack of cornerback depth. Are there any kind of safeties or guys in the secondary that you feel comfortable, in a pinch, kind of sliding over there?
Yeah, we'll constantly look at it. Prophet made a play at the end of the game, which was really good. And they're going to attack you too when you see a new corner come in late. I think we're down 3 corners by the end of that thing, and the guys got to step up. And obviously now with the work week, going into this next one, we'll look at some things and possibly move some checkers around. And then the other side of it is the guys got to step up. Not just like on a Saturday game day, but going into this next one. So many guys ask for an opportunity, and you just don't know when it's going to come. So no, we'll look at all those things. I mean, the specific guy to highlight, I wouldn't go there yet, but it's on the same face as you saw last week.
Thank you, Coach.